knowing your triggers, I truly feel like is another level of self-awareness, because you have to, like, you don't know your triggers kind of until it happens, until you get triggered. It's like,
I can't really feel safe with you if you're not self-aware. Because then it's like, if you make certain decisions that harm you or somewhere else, or just are not the best or whatever, but you can't hold yourself accountable for that, then there's a level of like trust that I can't have in you, because you are not trustworthy even for yourself to yourself.
Yeah, it kind of puts you in a place where you're a liability.
Like, I think people who are incredibly selfish are just like so deeply unhealed. And the unfortunate thing about that is like, that's work that only they can do.
yeah.
Like, nobody can like save you from that. Like, certain things people can help you from and encourage you and guide you on, but like, that's just like, that's where that self-awareness really comes in. Cause it's like, you have to be able to sit with yourself and be like, okay, why am I actually upset? What's really going on? Where can I help myself be better? Essentially, I feel like a lot of like really selfish people who don't care about anybody else, they're like so consumed by like their hurt a lot of times. And because they're so consumed by it, they don't see anything else. Because they're so consumed with the fact that they feel small or insecure, and they feel like very like cold and heartbroken, and like that really heavy feeling is just like all that they're living in. You know what I mean? And because the lack of self-awareness will put you, like, I feel like lack of self-awareness will stunt your growth. You know what I mean? So even if it's not like selfishness, it could be something else. It could be like greediness. It could be like, you know, lack of consideration. It could be like a lot of things. Like, lack of self-awareness will like kind of like stick you in like emotional spaces that you don't have to be in. Like, it will stick you in like, I don't want to say like of an 8-year-old or 10-year-old, but like it will stick you in like emotional spaces that are like younger than when you need to be.
You know,
or younger than what you have to be.
Yeah. You know that Freud pyramid?
Yeah.
What is the height?
Oh yeah,
Freud,
or Maslow.
Maslow's
hierarchy of needs.
No. But I think Freud, if you don't, well, is it me? It might be.
Oh yeah, I think it's Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where it's like,
if you don't fulfill the bottom one, you can't move up to the next one.
Yeah, so it's like physical safety.
Yeah.
Then it's like food and water, emotional safety.
And then self-actualization
is at the top. Yeah.
But I think it's like that. Like, if you can't, like, literally, if you can't get these basic needs met or whatever, in yourself, like, you can't move up to the other one, because you're stuck in that moment or in that space.
Yeah. You know? It's like it's. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that it's. What you were saying was. It just made me like realize like a lot of the way that I have been operating has been by my hurt or my unhealed self. Like, I'm literally like for 3 years, like I really feel like these past 3 years have been like the most traumatizing. So much going on. I have cried, this, that, and this, you know, acted out, whatever. Because like I was just viewing everything based off the people that hurt me. You know, like I couldn't go into certain spaces because I felt like I was being re-traumatized or whatever, because I wasn't healing. And people told me to heal. Like, they say you need to take time to heal. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to cry anymore. I don't want to. It's like, okay, you have your time and your space to heal and do that, and you have to do it when you're ready. But if you're not ready and you keep pushing it off, you're really stunting. Like you said, you're stunting your growth, because so much time and so much things are happening and going and going and going. And you could have met someone, or even the person that you feel like was bad for you in that moment, or you were viewing that person from someone that hurt you in the past. That's not actually that person, but because you haven't healed, you're seeing them like that, and they could have helped you get to this thing or that thing. You know what I'm saying? You're black. Yes. That's what I'm trying to say. Long run.
No, I feel that.
So you're good.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel that though.
So it's like that healing, and what you were saying was really hitting me, because I was like, dang, like I really was like, because I was so hurt by certain people, I was operating out of that hurt, you know? And I was like treating people that did nothing to me the way that the other people that hurt me, you know, did. Or I was allowing certain people to treat me certain ways because I was hurt, you know, and I was so focused on my hurt. This person did this person did that. Like, and it's like, yeah, they did that to you, but you have to heal, forgive, and move on, you know? And like just literally move on from it, because you're like, stuck. Like
Yeah.
you're literally stuck.
Yeah.
And it sucks. Like
Yeah, it's tough, yo. It is not an easy thing at all because I think also when it's comfortable after you've been in it for so long.
it is.
It's kind of like you're just like, this is what you know, and also you feel kind of vindicated in it. It's like, yeah, I have like the right to be hurt, and you do, like you do, but it's also like, it can be like, I don't know, it can be like a catch-22, like getting caught up in the hurt for so long to the point where you don't want to leave it, and can't think of a reality without it, and don't want to move past it or grow past it. You know what I mean? Because I've been there too. I've been in places where it was just like, I'm very like, you know, I've had issues with like, you know, like my parents, and I felt very hurt by them, and felt very like vindicated in like being passive aggressive, or felt very vindicated in like not always picking up the call when like, you know, my mom or my dad calls. It's like, I don't want to talk to you right now. But it's like, I realize that also like robs me of the opportunity to live a life where I don't have to feel that way. You know what I mean? Like that also robs me, like committing to those actions and not healing robs me of the opportunity to be able to live a life where it's like I can be more at ease around my parents, or you know, be more at ease around people who may have hurt me in the past but want to do better and genuinely care about me. But it's like when you view everything through your trauma, it's like you rob yourself of the opportunity to be able to live and breathe better and breathe easier, you know. But it's so easy because it's like this shit just will like blindside you. It's so easy. It's easy to do. I'm not saying none of this is easy. I mean, I'm not saying like this work is not hard. I just think it's like valuable. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like it's so hard, but it's also like not impossible at the same time. You know what I mean?
We even talked about it earlier before we started filming. We were talking about, you know, doing things that make you uncomfortable. Shows your signs of growth. You know? And self-awareness comes with that because it's gonna make you always have those uncomfortable conversations, doing those uncomfortable, being put in those uncomfortable positions. You know, and if you're a person that again is, you know, trying to start your self-awareness journey or just trying to get more insight on yourself or any type of journey you're in. That's what you're going to always have to see as your goal at the end of the day, which you mentioned. It's just like, if that's what you want in life and you don't want to get robbed of those opportunities or feel like you're remaining stuck in that feeling of, okay, I'm not in a good place with my parents, or I'm not in a good place with, you know, friends, whatever the case may be. Do I want to stay in this place? You know, and we've all been there. You know, I can obviously relate with that so heavy. But if your goal is at the end of the day to, you know, move through and move forward in that, like you said, heal, move on, get through, that's what you're gonna have to keep that as you'll just have to keep that as your main goal.
And I think too sometimes it's like you have to be ready.
And ready.
Because it's like and it's
ready to do the work.
You're ready to do the work, and also be like ready to be like sick. And at least I'll speak for myself. How do I say it? You have to be like, the pain of what you're going through or the feelings and the experience you have has to be more like inconvenient and bothersome than the pain of changing. It's like to like be like a healthier person, you're gonna have to like go through like the pain of being unhealthy, or go through the pain of like trying to change yourself and have new patterns. It's like but there's gonna be struggles on both sides no matter what path you take in life. It's just a matter of which one is more valuable to you and which one is like, can you not tolerate anymore? And I think that's what comes down to it for every person, or at least I'll say for me, not for every person. But for me, I think a lot of my change comes from like, I just can't tolerate this anymore. Like with looking at myself, it's like, I can't accept myself being this way anymore. It's not fun. I don't like it. I hate it here. It's no longer like, I can't keep doing this. Like for example, like an example that's like more like fun and lighthearted, but still like relevant. I have a terrible problem with staying up late. I will stay up till 4 or 5 in the morning sometimes. And it's like, why do I do it? And it's like, in the morning, I hate myself. Why did I do this? Why did I do this? But then I was like, I swear I will. And then I do it again. And then I do it again. And it's a vicious cycle. And then I hate myself again in the morning.
I wanted to come get up earlier.
Oh my God. And it's like, I'm like, sleeping past classes, sleeping past like meetings, sleeping past this. And I was like, you're like, Alexandra, you don't have to do this. Like, you
need to change.
It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to be like this. You can go to sleep
with yourself. Please go to bed.
Literally.
self-sabotage, for real.
No, for real, it's like self-sabotage for real. And I think when it comes to self-sabotage, it's just a matter of like, and like really like holding yourself accountable and having self-awareness. It's really just a matter of like, when are you tired of it?
Right.
When are you tired of yourself doing the thing that you do?
Right.
When are you sick of it? And when you're tired, that's when you're gonna change.
Yeah.
Like when you're really sick and tired, that's when you're gonna change.
When you hit that breaking point.
You know what I'm saying? When you're really sick and tired, that's when you're gonna change. Because I've had a couple breaking points and been like, girl, look, we are not doing this anymore.
Some gotta get.
It's just not. It's like, put the phone down.
Right.
Go to
I just
sleep.
need myself to just go like this one time. If I'm on my phone.
Sometimes I be wishing that it's like, it's so hard being an adult.
Mindfulness. So we talked about self-awareness, and I feel like they kind of go together. But what is y'all's definition, or what do y'all think that mindfulness is? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, I got you.
So I was saying mindfulness for me, I think specifically like a mindfulness meditation, and I think of like practicing being in the present and practicing like being in the present more, like being in the now, being in like what is happening right now, and also I guess like being aware of like how my body feels in certain situations as well. I would say like it's when I think of mindfulness, it's definitely like like I'm tapping into myself and I'm seeing like how I feel within the moment instead of being somewhere and thinking about the next thing. You know, just being where I am when I am. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I feel like it's being in the present moment, being in tune with yourself as well as others and your surroundings. Yeah, that's how I would define it, because it does play along with the self-awareness. But as far as just mindfulness, I think self-awareness might be more just the individual, and then mindfulness is more generalized.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But I feel like, okay, so we had this conversation earlier. I feel like well, never mind. I take it back. I don't feel like that. I agree. I agree, because it is. It's like, it is like the outer.
Yeah.
Like you're being mindful of everything like around you, and like what's affecting you and whatnot. Okay. So how do y'all practice mindfulness? Or do you practice it?
I'm trying my best to. I would say kind of what we talked about earlier with self-awareness of, consideration, things like that tap into it. That's my way of practicing it. It's just being considerate of others, their feelings, emotions, and also if maybe not necessarily agreeing with it, I still considering it and understanding where they're coming from. Understanding the backstory behind it. I feel like that might be part of the mindfulness aspect. Yeah.
I just keep going back to meditation because that's really like the best way. I feel like I realistically practice mindfulness in my own life, because I feel like it can sometimes be hard for me to practice mindfulness when I'm doing something, or I have to be actively thinking or making movements, or just like actively like using a lot of energy in a lot of spaces. But with meditation, sitting down at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day and just kind of like letting my mind clear itself out and just practicing having like a clear mind at the beginning and end of the day, that helps me a lot. Also, I don't know why, but like cooking and making like coffee and tea helps me practice mindfulness, because I'm like so attuned to like what I'm doing. I don't know why. That's like very peaceful for me. Like cooking, like seasoning and then putting the food on the pan and then like mixing like sugar into like the hot water and milk. I don't know, something about like the process of cooking and making food helps me practice mindfulness a lot.
Yeah, it does. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That's a good example.
I can really like tune into that for some reason. That's one thing that really helps me.
Yeah.
And then also watching sunsets. I love watching sunsets.
Oh yeah, that's mom.
Yes, like you're just like in the moment. You're talking about being in the moment.
Yeah.
Watch a sunset. Watch a sunset.
Oh, I wish I could find like a good area out here.
Yeah,
just to
watch one.
Yeah.
Off, I'll tell you, this garage.
Oh,
So,
it's right.
yeah,
Oh,
actually,
was it the one you showed me? Oh, no,
Was
the
it
one
down
I
here?
was. Yeah, I think so. Like when I came a couple years back.
Oh yeah,
It was like a rooftop.
girl.
No.
Yeah, I mean that one's good too. That's close. This one I'm thinking about is closer. To you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta drive all the way down here.
Oh, I was about to say please.
Yeah, no.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
I feel like mindfulness and discipline, I think, go together.
Okay.
Because even with like meditating, I try to meditate. I can't focus while I'm meditating. Like I just cannot like just turn my brain off. But I feel like exercising the discipline, like the little cat.
Yeah.
Exercising the discipline to like just like stop your mind from like thinking.
Yeah.
Because my mind will go and go
Yeah.
and go and go and go. But it's like actively like, okay, no, I'm going to try to stay, like you said, in the moment, turn my brain off and just be like here.
Yeah.
Like I have a friend that I was like, I feel like your brain's like empty. And I don't mean that in like a bad way, but it's like, I just feel like, like she's so chill about like everything. And I'm just like, how are you like,
relax.
and she's like, I just don't be thinking about stuff. I just
go with
like,
the flow.
I just go with the flow. Like she writes down what she needs to do and she focuses on that one thing and then once that thing, you know what I'm saying? Wow, I would love to be like that. Like, my mind's like, I'm doing this. Oh crap, I have to do that. Okay, I have to do that. Oh, whoa, I have to, you know? But it's like her ability to just like tune everything out. I'm just like, and she's so chill. Like she's so chill, and I'm just like, girl, you got the epitome of mindfulness. Like literally the epitome.
You should be the spokesperson about it.
Yeah, like she's so chill.
Yeah, it's definitely hard though to practice that. One thing that I learned, I think it was the Calm app. I actually think that helped me learn this. It was like, what was it? It was talking about that. It was like meditation isn't turning your brain off, but it's like the practicing of like getting to still moments. So even if you can't have like your brain like completely like silent for 10 minutes, you can probably have it silent for like 30 seconds. You know, or like or even not silent, focusing on like your body, like focusing on your breath for like 30 seconds, and then let it run for 30 seconds. Focus on your breath for 30 seconds, and then let it run for 30 seconds. And then like eventually by the end of the 10 minutes, you'll feel so much more relaxed because like you carved out 5 minutes of time basically where your mind is kind of silent, and it gets easier to exercise each time you do it. It's like, it's definitely easier said than done, and it definitely takes practice to be able to get into that space. Because I remember there was a point in time where I used to meditate all the time. I would wake up, meditate for like 10 minutes, go to sleep, meditate for 10 minutes. Like I was meditating like constantly. I would meditate for like 30 minutes at a time. And because I was practicing meditating so much, it was so easy for like my body to feel at rest. And it was so easy for me to feel like calm and like in tune with myself. But as more like responsibilities got onto my plate, it's harder to do that. I really need to get back to that, honestly. Because I was meditating like crazy. Like I was really meditating like an hour a day. I was meditating. I was like 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night. Like I was like meditating, and it became so much like easier for me to like feel like calm, feel like peace. My body just felt more rested. My body just felt rested because I was constantly like I was practicing being in tune with myself. It does take time though. It's like a muscle. Like it's like working out. It's like working out. And I'm about to practice myself. Like right now, I'm thinking about 3 things.
As I'm talking, I'm thinking.
Again, with that dissociation.
Right over here.
We're like, I'm here, but
I know,
but
but
over here.
I wish we had like a. Have you guys seen it's like Mirror or something? Mirror. Last Mirror on Netflix.
Black Mirror?
Black Mirror,
yeah.
So not like the little zoomy thing, like how you can go back, but I wish we had like a bubble of what we're thinking about so we can see it and just like we could pop it to stop thinking about it.
Oh, nice.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
That'd be so cool.
It would. I would love it. I was like, pop.
This actually want to be empty right now.
Half the stuff in Black Mirror would be so convenient if it was real, like we could really do it.
I know.
What you were saying about mindfulness, your way was with meditating, but mine was with like I kind of find those moments when I drive.
Oh yeah.
Like sometimes, like you ever have a moment where you're like, you're in the car, you just
You're still aware.
You're still aware, like you're driving, you're still paying attention to that, but you're like your mind is just completely like blank. That's what I normally kind of go through, but it's just in driving mode that happens. But I like to practice it on my own. It just does not work for me because I'll have the intrusive thoughts and everything that starts slipping in, like we said, dissociate, and I'll start thinking about everything else. So that's why I'm like. That's the only time I've noticed in my actual life where that plays a role when I'm driving. That's and it may be depending on, if it's like even coming down here, I did it. Because it was a good little 50-minute drive. So I was just like, no, 285. But no, actually it's peaceful though, because then when I got out of the car and we were talking in the chat, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna chill. And I was still kind of in it. And I was like, I love this. Because it just kind of takes you away from just the everyday hassle, whatever, like traffic,
Yeah.
that was already enough.
Right.
But it took you out of that. It's like, that's why when I got here, I was like, my job wasn't that bad. Like,
Yeah.
I was fighting.
You was over there fighting for your life, and I'm
So
over here like,
pissed.
oh, just chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel that. I think I really try to tap into mindfulness. I think the thing about mindfulness is it's really hard to tap into it if you're not doing something that's also assisting in practicing mindfulness.
Yeah.
So it's hard to be mindful if it's you're doing things that take you away from being mindful. So it's practicing mindfulness is if you're going to work in school and you have all these responsibilities you're talking you have, it's you probably need some time to carve out to practice mindfulness. Going to the park or cooking something or making yourself a cup of tea or going on a drive specifically that's scenic, so you can go on a scenic route drive so you can practice mindfulness, stuff like that. I feel it's hard to do it, and I feel how do I say it? I feel it's hard to do it if you're just living a life right now where it's it kind of doesn't exist. You probably need to add more things or carve out time specifically where you're doing it, even if it's literally just 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the park and I'm gonna sit down on this bench and I'm just gonna people watch
Yeah.
for 5 minutes. That's practically mindfulness.
Yeah.
But I feel it's hard to do if we're not if there aren't specific routines or just habits we have in our life that are catered to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I've definitely tried to practice mindfulness. I'm gonna be mindful today, but nothing in my day is supporting being mindful. I'm going to school, I'm working, I'm this, I'm that, I'm on the phone, I'm this, I'm just there's no room, there's no space for it. So I feel for me it's just a matter of literally anything counts. If it is 10 minutes of me just trying to be quiet in my own room, that works, as long as I'm doing something to carve out to make space for it, and it helps with anxiety, which I struggle with a lot.
Yeah, I feel everybody just got extra
Nowadays,
shot of anxiety after COVID.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Big time.
I feel self-awareness is a subset of mindfulness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because when you guys were talking, I was thinking yeah, dang, it really is just trying to I think it's figuring out when you need to disconnect to get yourself leveled again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to be aware of your limit of what you can take and do or how long you can go, and then take a minute to be okay, I need to stop. Because it's technically the definition is about being conscious of something. One of the definitions. So it's okay, well maybe you're being conscious of the fact that you need to pause and take a minute. Or maybe it's just you being the fact that you are angry, you need to go cool off. Or, just take a minute. Just being that aware. Because I know I shared in the last episode, my 3 things. But even every day I'm still learning okay, I notice if I eat this type of this food or this sugar, it's gonna affect me this way. So I need to be more disciplined in choosing my food and what I'm eating because I know how it affects me, and that's I feel that's kind of a form of being mindful as well because you know what your body can take and what it can't take and how it affects you and how it doesn't, or even sleep. I need 8 hours sleep. I wish I wasn't one of those.
Yeah, I know. I wish I was a 6-hour person.
I know, or even 5 hours. I know some people that don't need to sleep.
No,
so
me.
jealous.
I need 8.
8
I
solid,
need
good hours.
Maybe 7 on a good day.
7,
I need a nighttime routine.
Yeah.
I noticed I'm my healthiest. I think literally everything in my life can become mediocre. And if I have a nighttime routine specifically, not even a morning routine, I think the nighttime routine is more important for me. Because the nighttime will set up my morning to go well.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Literally, my sleeping habits.
As we spoke about.
I just spoke about. Being mindful of how that affects me is definitely super important because I do feel when I have a good nighttime routine and when I have a good way I'm taking care of myself, so before bed, it just sets the pace for everything else the next day. It literally sets the pace for everything else.
I see.
Yeah. But yeah.
See, I'm the opposite. I have to have a morning routine.
I feel
morning. Morning is more so my thing because I guess I'm just a what do you call it? Night owl.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get better with that. You were saying before, it's a struggle, but it's a process at the same time.
Yeah.
But mornings is what sets me up because if I know, okay, I wake up, make my bed, go brush my teeth, go wash my face, do my skincare routine, whatever the case may be, it already puts me in a path of, okay, we're going to get things done today.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess my brain just always got used to that. It's from a kid, you know, when we get ready for school, our mom, parents wake us up, you know, and that was already the daily routine. And I know with me, I have to have that type of structure in order for the day to flow well. Because if not, if I don't wake up, that's the first thing I'm going to do is bathroom. Make your bed. Go. If I'm not on that type of structure with myself, lights out. Lights out. That's the best way to put it. Nothing's gonna get done. So that's why I said morning for me is more of the priority. But I understand how it could be night too, because I'm like, oh yeah, because it set you up the next day. So either way, but you definitely have to be mindful in knowing who you are, and that's where it comes into that self-awareness as well. Because if you know you're that type of person, you'll see that, you know, those results happen for you, especially if you're trying to already implement it anyway. So shut up.
We're rolling. Rolling.
Like, girl, you can just sit there. It's okay. You'll be fine.
15 more minutes.
That's 20 hours later.
Oh my God, like 4:30.
Like, I'm already up. I might as well just stay up some more. So, you know?
It's already 3 o'clock.
I know.
He's like, damn, it's 3 o'clock. Literally. Go back on TikTok. See, you know it's 3 o'clock. But look at their Instagram stories. See what they up to. See what else talking about on Twitter. They talking about.
No, literally. Let's get it. Let's pop it. Let's pop it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. I could really be a ghostwriter, you guys.
Okay, though.
She's like,
I was over here.
She's like, relax. That's why you're going.
No! I didn't! No!
Delusion?
No! The deluge, bro. Trademark TM, the deluge. I think it's called deluge.
Let me scoot in closer
I know.
so I can be seen by the camera.
Just tilt it so that green is
Like, just a little bit back. Yeah, like go a little bit more forward.
Come back.
I'm gonna tell you when to stop. Stop right there. Stop right there. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Because I know you didn't want that green thing in the back.
Oh, yeah.